All right, let's just get started. So, hi everyone. Today is going to be the first day of the SciLE camp. So, I'm going to first give you all an introduction, talk a bit about what Science Olympiad is about, and then move on to our first event, which is Dynamic Planet with the topic of oceanography. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the slides for the Science Olympiad introduction. So, first of all, what is Science Olympiad? Wait, by the way, everyone can hear me, right? Like, type something in chat if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Right. So, what is Science Olympiad? Well, it's pretty obvious that it's a science competition, but basically how it works is this. So each school will send a 15-member team, and just who can be on that team is decided by which division it is. So, for example, for Division A, you can have teams of people from grades K to 6 with up to 5 people in 6th grade. From Division B, you can have 6th to 9th graders with up to 5 9th graders. And then you can have, for Division C, you can have 9th to 12th graders with up to 5 12th graders. And these 15 members will each compete in 23 events. And each event during the competition, it will be 15 minutes in length. The way you compete in this event will actually vary quite a bit depending on the type of event, which I think I'm going to talk about a bit more later. Um, and basically, what prevents Science Olympiad from basically being this really hard, really annoying type of competition is the fact that you can bring cheat sheets or binders. So basically, events will dictate how much outside information you can bring into an event, and oh, and so basically, this will allow you to kind of this will take some of the pressure of memorizing everything off of you. And so instead, your job becomes kind of to synthesize the information that you've learned, know where to look for the information, and understand how concepts kind of connect and on your and how well you can explain some certain concepts. So for example, like within Dynamic Planet, for example, this is a bit of a foreshadow into what I'm going to be talking about later, but like you need to understand how like current ocean currents work, how they're caused, not just like where the currents are, and like yeah. Usually there's going to be 2 people per event. So each person will usually take like 3 to 4 events, and then they'll compete in them, and then yeah. So basically, the scoring kind of works as follows. Basically, individual events will have their own way of scoring the their event, but basically at the end you're going to be assigned a ranking, your school based on your school compared to other schools, and so your ranking from each event will be added up, and then the lowest total ranking wins. So just for an example, if your school was unbelievably good in the sauce, you got first in every single event, then your score would be 23. And because nobody else can have a lower score, then your school will win whatever competition you're in. Good job, I guess. Generally, I think scores of like under 100 are generally like considered to be extremely like generally scores under 100 are considered extremely strong. Okay, a bit more about competitions. So, actually, one person in chat here just said they got first in Division B wind power, which is amazing. So I asked which
Well,
competition
it
they
was
got
my middle school.
in middle school. Yeah, sure, but which competition was it from? Is it an invitational, which generally like just occurs throughout the year? Different universities or organizations might host them, and basically they're a good chance for you to practice. Or was it in like the regional states to national circuit, which happened in March, April, and June, or I mean, the March, April, and May, sorry. And basically this is kind of where like schools within a region, within a state will compete, and then yeah, eventually, like for example, if you score like the top 3 to 5 in your regional, then you can advance to states, and then the top school in the states will always advance to nationals, and then the people at nationals to get out to fight for the nation's #1. Um, all of us who will be teaching you for the rest of the week came from Basis Independent Silicon Valley. I think our best placements were at states. We never made it to nationals, but we still have quite a few states medals. So, I mean, yeah, we're not a bad school. Um, okay, types of events. I was kind of talking about this earlier, but yeah. So what are the different nationals #1 in wind power? Holy cow, you're kind of cracked. Okay. So you must be really familiar about the whole structure of this. Which school are you from? Anyways, types of events. I'm getting sidetracked. So basically, I've identified 4 types of events within SILE. So the first is a study event where it's like where you basically just have to memorize things. You have to know your stuff. I guess you can put some of it down on your cheat sheet, but yeah, it's most of the just being able to understand the knowledge. Sorry. Um, yeah, just about like understanding understanding the knowledge, understanding the concepts, how the concepts tie into each other. And then yeah. Then you have build events where these are more like the engineer these put like the engineering in STEM. Basically you'll build some sort of devices at home and they're going to be put to the test at the competition. Basically, like for example, I think some of my friends did this event called ping pong parachutes, where quite intuitively you had to design a parachute for ping pong, and then you'd see like how far, um, and you see how far your parachutes can take your ping pong. It was kind of cool. And then you have laboratory events, which are kind of like, I'd say they're kind of in between study and build events. There's like a hands-on component that requires the use of like some sort of materials. So for example, one of the other events that I did was water quality, and most of it was a study event. So we had to like answer questions about like different aspects of water quality, like testing for contaminants, also some ecology questions. But there was also a section which my year actually didn't have to do because I did this over COVID, and so we never had to do this. But there's also you might also have to like in water quality, you also had to like develop a salinometer. So like for example, that would be something that's more hands-on, and yeah. And then finally you have hybrid events, which are like part study and part lab. Okay. Uh should I read the chat messages? I don't know if I want to read the chat messages. I'm going to make the executive decision to actually no, okay. These are actually the events for the unofficial 2024 to 2025 events, not 21 to 22. Sorry, this slideshow has been reused before. Basically, so yeah, these are just there's going to be 5 like categories of the 23 official events. They might also run some unofficial events. These would be like yeah, for the longest time, Codebusters was a trial event. They were like testing it out, seeing how it would do, and I think it's been here for like a good 4 or 5 years now as an official event. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Um, yeah. A question in the chat asking what Crime Busters is. I actually do believe that one of our instructors later this week, I think Shangtuo on the last day will talk a bit more about Crime Busters, but I think it's a bit like baby forensics. I think there's like tasks such as like identifying like powders and yeah, stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna close the chat now. Like there depending on from season to season, the events will change somewhat. Like for example, like and you might also have events that like change within themselves, such as like anatomy and physiology and dynamic planet. These are always going to be events, but like which body systems are tested in anatomy, which aspect of earth science is tested in dynamic planet, this cannot change. Like for example, in my year, I did anatomy and physiology was about the skeletal, the muscular, and the integumentary system, basically bones, muscles, and skin. And then Dynamic Planet was oceanography, which I will be talking about later. But yeah, I like think for next year, like for example, Dynamic Planet is gonna be like tectonics and stuff. So yeah, even within these, there's gonna be some variations. Uh, yeah. Can we not spam rude things in chat? That's rude. Is there anything about the immune system? I think that's gets cycled around. It might actually be here. Which one is my favorite? Don't tell anyone, but Dynamic Planet is my favorite event. You can ask the other instructors later this week what their favorite events are. I'm sure they might say something different. Dynamic Planet, this one. Yeah, some of them are really funny names, like potions and poisons is kind of funny, but I'd assume it's like just chemical stuff. Probably one of your more standard like, chemistry events. So, how should you prepare? Now that we have a nationals #1 in the chat, I feel a bit less qualified to say this. So, Colin, if you have any tips, maybe you can be the first person to drop a productive message in chat. But from my experience, at least, Google has been really, really helpful. Like just searching up stuff. I think that can be really helpful. Personally, I learn a lot when I watch videos. So I've legitimately, no joke, just gone to YouTube and just searched up like different, search up different videos to watch. Like for example, when I was doing dynamic planet hydrology, I found like a really cool video on what was it? I think it was like swamps and whatever. I think that was kind of cool. Something really important that I've learned over the years is that you need to like go strictly on your event guidelines. So I think I can actually try to show it right here. But it's basically like they'll have like specific guidelines found on the official rules. So, I can, oh yeah. Oh, wait, can I not download the rules anymore? Never mind. Yeah, so like this is like, for example, this is air trajectory event. And so basically this will tell you kind of like some of the regulations you must have within your build. It's a build event, by the way. This tells you what, like if there's any guidelines you must follow within your build. You have to do a design log, basically, I guess, to make sure that you're not like buying this device off some random website or random people. And then you're going to understand a bit about what the competition is like and how it's going to be scored. Yeah, here's more of the scoring. So yeah, a bunch of information. Anatomy and physiology, okay. Turns out it's on like cardio, lymphatic, respiratory, I assume. Expiratory. Okay, whatever. But yeah, this will tell you like, okay, you need to know like this stuff about the heart, you need to know this stuff about blood vessels, about blood, etc., etc. But I should also say that it's usually not enough to just go on the official rules. Like, I think it's very important to follow the third tip, which is to do practice tests. Practice tests, I think, have been insanely important. Like, I think, yeah, not everyone follows the event guidelines to a T, and so just gaining experience on understanding like what types of questions can be on the test is going to be really important. Like for example, in water quality, there's a section where you need to like be able to identify like they give you they give you a list of possible like ocean like marine organisms that you need to identify, but then like I think in one of our competitions, one of the animals, one of the fishes didn't wasn't at all in like their predetermined okay list. So that was a giant shock. So yeah, um, get a lot of practice tests. Study 1 to 2 hours of science. My attention span could never. How should we put this? Science is fun if you want to, and I think the magic of SciLE is that you really get a bunch of events from like all fields of science. You have biology, you have the earth science, you have the like you have physics and chemistry, and then you have a bunch of other stuff here as well. So I really don't think there's a shortage. If you say you're interested in science, I feel very confident that you'll be able to find at least one event that kind of calls out to you. Like my interest was within like the earth sciences. So my strongest events were like dynamic planets and meteorology. And so yeah. Uh, do I want to read? Do I really want to read the chat? Okay. Anyways. Uh, Helen, if you have any tips. Uh, what are the hardest and easiest events in general? Gee, I don't know. I haven't seen all of the events. I hate to be like that type of guy, but I'm gonna say it has to depend on like where your strengths and weaknesses lie. And I think I guess this is more from the like coach's side, but I feel like in team building it's really important to have people who can like in team building it's really important to have like people from all walks of like science so that you can like find people who excel at different things. um I think okay, the person sending ASCII art, it's not even ASCII art, it's Braille art. Jeez, it's not Braille art, I don't know what the hell it is, but it looks cool. But let's let's not spam, please, please, please. I don't want to have to disable chat for everyone. We're good. Okay, we're good. Commitments. Yeah, so you got to be committed. I think Helen can tell you more about that, but you need it. This isn't for like the faint of heart, and I think um you really need to be able to dedicate a lot of time to SciLE. I think it's high investment,
I
high
think
reward. Someone trying to say something?
like one of the people in the science Olympiad team, like they go to my like actually a few of them all go to my Chinese school. So like one of them kind of started a science Olympiad like anatomy club, and I went there sort of.
That's kind of cool. Okay, I will say
He
my
basically,
least favorite. Huh?
he basically just said like if you want to participate in like science Olympiad, you just have to like try really hard.
Agree. I'm pointing to the camera, but agree. You do have to try really hard. I'm sure people like Helen try really hard, and all of Helen's teammates work really hard, and that's why they can like be state champions and whatever.
They weren't all my teammate because like last year I was still in elementary school, but like I think like one of like the third
Oh,
graders, like
oh,
their brother was in like the team,
that's cool. Yeah,
and she
but
was telling everybody.
whoever's on the team, like I'm sure they spend a lot of time, a lot of effort into understanding their material and um like I think my school we did 1 hour team meeting every week during the school year, and then it kind of ramped up more towards like the turn of the new calendar year, where like competitions kind of got more intense. Um for our school, and I guess this is just going to be my requirement, my suggestion, because this is what I know from my school. But so we did one competition per month generally from December to like March, April. That was and this is for in-person events. During COVID, we did so even more. I think, you know, just just to reiterate, strong commitment, strong commitment, strong commitment. Helen, do you know how many invitationals your school goes to during the normal school year?
I have no idea. I'm just going into fifth grade, like sixth grade this year.
Okay, that's fine. But you're gonna join Science Olympiad?
Yeah, I'm going to do everything.
Thumbs up. Okay, I've already kind of made a case for trying to join Siley, but in case you have not been convinced yet, yeah, Science Olympiad has a bunch of challenging content. Like the focus within each event, because you have 15 members a team, you can kind of specialize more in certain types of subjects. And so, because you only have to do like study 3 or 4 subjects, you need to have like a really deep knowledge of um, you need to have a really deep knowledge of the content. And so you can, in doing this, you can learn like a ton about your subjects. Like for example, I took a class on like, well, basically it was like human anatomy, where basically my teacher kind of like gave us a surface level overview of each of the body systems. When I was doing Science Olympiad, and I did anatomy, where I studied the skeletal system, and I found just so many different things about the skeletal system that I had completely like never learned about before. And I think that was just really amazing to see like how much more there is to what you think it is. Science Olympiad really makes you feel dumb. Like for the tests, I would say like generally like 50 to 70% would be considered a good score. Then this like just shows like how difficult the tests are, how much information you need to know to get 100%. So it's really, really rare for anybody to get a full score on a test. So yeah. Um, yeah, Science also teaches kind of independence, like your ability to independently research, to like find information, find information online. Like you also need to, I mean, you have to coordinate with your teammates, but I think eventually part of the burden also falls on yourself. So you need to be able to search a lot for information, be able to like find, just be able to learn a lot by yourself. I haven't seen okay. No, that was just you got to try really hard. Yeah, you just really had to try really hard. Um, well, I do want to say, like I said, there's a lot of independent research. And I'll get you to you in a sec. But I do think there's a ton of teamwork, like not only just like between you and your event partners, because well, obviously you two need to like collaborate really well to do tests. Like for example, in anatomy, me and my partner, we split the curriculum kind of in half. So like I studied the skeletal system and half of the integumentary system, and then he studied the muscular system and half the integumentary system. And so that way we were able to kind of divide up our labor. Even in events where both of us were like, for example, me and another instructor that you'll be having, Samuel, we did a lot of, we did quite a few events together. And we always like, both of us studied the curriculum pretty thoroughly, and then we just split the test halfway. So we can just complete things much quicker, and then we could cross check each other, discuss any answers. And yeah. Okay. Henry had a question. If you want to ask it, please feel free. Henry? Where did Henry go? Uh, okay. Anyways. Okay, this is my definitely professionally warranted advice on starting on Silently. But I think I don't know if Helen School is doing this, but basically at basis we already like trying to start picking the events that each of us are going to study. I think I'm not sure if the official events are out, but the ones that I have posted on the slides, they are the tentatives. They're the tentative events, and so I don't think it's not expected for there to be a big change between that and the official rules when they drop in the fall. Um, yeah, I think a big tip, start studying in the summer. Like I think just to get like a basic understanding of your events. This will allow you to like yeah, just get a much bigger head start compared to other schools. I think if if you like start in the summer compared to if you wait for everything in the fall. And then in the fall when the official rules drop, you need to form your official team. You might need to like do a bit of like event switching and stuff. But yeah, I think if you can kind of like draft kind of a team roster and then start studying, I think that will put you in a really good position to put you in a really good position to hit the ground running when the school year starts. So um, yeah, that's everything from my side. If you guys have any questions, then uh, I'll be willing to answer them.
Is it the end already? How quickly?
Is that a question to me? I didn't really hear it. Was it? Is there anything CS related? I have heard that they were conducting like tests for CS based events, but as of the moment, there aren't. And judging by the fact that it was a few years ago since I heard that they were trying out CS stuff, I would be a little hesitant to say that CS is coming kind of soon. Joy?
Is there a certain place where you can enter in the competitions, or it's like all around the country?
I'm pretty sure it's all around the country. And okay, it's been a long time since I've been in this circuit, but we used to have like virtual competitions. So I think like for virtual competitions, people from everywhere could just go to an event. I think that made things very convenient. But I do think science happens around the country, and so I don't think like where you are will like significantly impact your ability at least to attend competitions. Although you might have to travel a bit. Like I live in the California Bay Area, and then some of our competitions were in Sacramento, and so that was a few hours drive. Class about to end? No, there's still one more hour. I think I sent an email where I talked about the basic schedule of the classes, but basically we're going to have 2 40-minute sessions with a 10-minute break in between. And so, yeah, it's from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Pacific, which will translate to 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And you can adjust for whatever time zone you are otherwise. Oh, yeah, 1.5 hours ago. Oh, okay. Yo, can we relax? Jesus. I'm just seeing tons of bro, this whole chat is kind of wild. Any other questions? I'm not a cuber. I do have cubes though. Joy?
Have you
Right, yeah.
ever like got first place in any of your competitions?
Have I gotten first? Yes. I don't mean to flex, but I got first in Dynamic Planet in my first ever competition. Was I carried by my teammate who was 1 year older than me? Maybe. But yeah. That was a regionals first. Thank you. That was a regional first. I also got state second with Samuel. I think we lost on tie breaks, which is super sad, but whatever. I'm gonna try out for the team next year. Good luck, go, go, go. Joy, again.
Like entering the competition and like getting first, does it like give good grades to make you like to get into a good college?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not experienced enough to talk about this since I haven't done it in high school, and I feel like colleges look more at high school stuff. But I do think like doing what style holds its own weight. Ellie?
What do you get for winning? Nothing. Do you get? What do
It's a bit harsh to say you get nothing for winning. For one, you get pride slash flexing power. For two, I don't know if there's monetary awards, but I think yeah. I'm not sure if you get like monetary awards, but yeah, definitely a lot of pride. Yeah. Okay. We have a quiz in the beginning of the school year to decide the science Olympiad team. There's physiology and anatomy and code busters. What are the three? Which one do you think is the best? Okay, first I think anatomy and physiology is like one event because they're like okay, they're named two different things, but like they like kind of talk about the same thing. Um, I think that really just depends on you. Sorry again for like giving such a cliche answer, but if you're more like a bio kid, I'd say try out anatomy. But otherwise, I think Codebusters is considered to be universally fun. I'll say that. Um, so if you want an interesting event, okay, I'm kind of familiar with Codebusters, but basically, like you just have they give you a bunch of ciphers you need to know, and then like on competition day, you get like a bunch of quotes from literally anywhere, and then you have to decode them. And then I think there's even some in Spanish, so that's kind of interesting if you want to learn a bit of Spanish on the side, or if you have like one person studying Spanish, shaha advantage. Are there medals given? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, no, you do get medals for winning. Do you have any other questions? If not, then I think we can head into our break a bit early, and then reconvene at 4:50 Pacific time for Dynamic Planet. So yeah. All right. Break time.